Well, here we are doing so-called morning hour debate after a very late evening here in the House doing a pretend bill. We are providing the verisimilitude of a representative Congress by having endless series on votes on bills that are going nowhere in the appropriations process because the Senate isn't doing appropriations bills. Everyone knows there'll be some gigantic omnibus or continuing resolution year-end deal. But nonetheless, to make it look like we're actually doing something instead of taking up issues, as mentioned by Mr. Clyburn earlier, we're holding endless vote series and then debate late at night. At 1:45 a.m., the gentleman from Washington introduced an amendment to remove all protections for wolves in the United States of America. Now, of course, wolves only occupy a tiny fraction of their range. Now, he did this under strong urging from the cattlemen and some hunting groups. Now, there's only one thing wrong with what he's doing. It's actually going to have a counter effect. The wolf predation on cattle is unbelievably insignificant. 7.8% of the losses of cattle are due to disease, weather, so better husbandry would help a lot with the cattlemen. And then 2.7% is due to other predators, principally coyotes, who the Animal Damage Control Wildlife Services people have been trying to extirpate for 70 years. Well, 70 years after they tried to eliminate all the coyotes in America, there are many more coyotes, much more widely dispersed across the country, and there are huge packs in the West which do predate on cattle. Now, why is it a problem if they want to kill off the wolves? Well, wolves eat and kill coyotes. So let's take away, here's a predator that does not prefer cattle, prefers wild game, and in fact, wolves do help also with wild game. They aren't trophy hunters. They're not going after the 50-point elk. They're going to go after the slowest and weakest elk that are out there, or caribou up in Alaska. So they actually improve the health of the herds. But the hunters say, wait a minute, they're killing some of our elk. Now, we should be killing them elk. But the hunters are going to go after the trophies. The wolves aren't going after the trophies. So you're doing exactly the wrong, stupid thing here. I think a majority of the American people, as indicated by the 1.2 million comments against delisting the wolf submitted to Fish and Wildlife, would agree that we want to restore ecosystems and make them more healthy. Look at Yellowstone. Since the wolves have come back into Yellowstone, the park has changed dramatically for the better. The elk herds don't just all hang around now down in the rivers and eat all of the riparian vegetation and ruin the water quality. They got to act more like elk. Hide out in the forest, because if they make themselves into targets, they're going to get eaten. So the health of the park has improved unbelievably due to the presence of wolves. You know, this is a keystone species in a natural order. And because of this horrible depredation, this 0.9% loss due to wolves compared to almost 10 times that due to bad husbandry practices, the answer is kill the wolves. We got 2.7% loss due to coyotes and other predators who actually are targeted by wolves. The answer is kill the wolves. This is stupid, irrational, unscientific. In fact, there's a study from the University of Washington that found killing wolves actually increased livestock losses. But the gentleman from Washington wants to persist in the myth that somehow by eliminating wolves, it will help the livestock industry. It's just yet another misbegotten amendment on a fake bill that isn't going anywhere, but I would still urge my colleagues to vote against it.